Do I think the market's going to crash? No. What is going on, you guys? My name is Dalton Susie. Most of you probably already know me, but I just wanted to come on here today and share some information with you guys, okay? Nobody's going to want to go over this stuff themselves, so I thought I'd go over it in a video, hopefully to make it a little bit more exciting and be able to put my professional opinion in there about real estate and the market, okay? So today, going over markets. I know, nobody wants to really go over those. But I'm asked these questions all the time, guys, and I just wanted to give you guys an option to be able to see them in the past, in the future, so that we have a documentation of what's going on and maybe in an easier way to digest than just looking it up yourself. I believe that history shows us how things are going to be in the future, and that's not always determinate, but it is a great hint what's going to happen in the future. Let's start out with, I use a Greater Association of Nashville website that is open to everybody. Like, you can look these stats up yourself. However, obviously, it's my job to kind of know these stats every single month so I can tell you guys what's going on. And now I want to be able to share this with you guys. So if you guys don't want to listen to these videos, you can actually look them up yourself. If you don't trust your real estate agent, you can look it up yourself, okay? So this will help you guys when you're buying, selling, and just general information so you know what's going on or not left in the dark, okay? Let's get started. So first, I'm gonna go ahead and switch on my screen here. I've got a tab open so we can look at the market stats. So first thing, if you wanna look this up yourself, you're gonna go to the Greater, and this is only if you're in the Nashville area. I don't know about other states. I'm assuming that other associations in other states will have this. Excuse me. You have to be part of association if you are real estate agent in the state of Tennessee. I don't know if it's the same for other states, but I'm assuming it probably is. It also connects you with the Nashville Association of Realtors. Pull this up, so I'm just going to type in Greater Nashville Association of Realtors. It's already put in for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and search that. We're going to go here, Greater Nashville Realtors.com or .org, excuse me. Right here, we've got the Greater Nashville homepage to find the market data. Now, again, this is available to everybody. You don't have to log in for this. All these things can be, kind of crazy to see, but right here, the third to last is market data. I'm going to go ahead and click on market data and news, and it's going to pull up this page right here. Go to market data, and now we can go through every year back from 2018, 2019, all the way to 2021. But I've already got these all pulled up for you. Well, I've gotten 3 of these pulled up for you. I've got 2021, 2020, and 2019 already up for you, so we can actually see these side by side and be able to go over the data with each other. All right, so this is 2021, as you can see right here up in the domain name. 2021 I've got pulled up right now. Now, we're going to be going over the median prices. I know there's a lot of other data on here, and it's not really necessary for you guys to pay attention to unless you want to. Some of the things that might help you guys out is like days on market. This just tells you how long it takes when something has been put on the market before it closes. Our average right now is 29 days in the state of November, in the month of November. All this stuff is just how many units per type of real estate that is being sold. But really what we want to pay attention to right here is this number, median sales price of residential property. Most of you are buying residential property. If you're buying commercial, it's a whole nother spiel, and we can get into that in another video, or you guys can reach out to me personally and we can go over all of that stuff if you would like to. In 2021, residential properties sold for approximately $425,000, the median price of $425,000. That is huge, and I want to explain why that is huge, because I want to look at the months prior to this. Okay, so the month prior to this, October, was actually more than, I almost said less. I've been over these things and I know it's more. It's actually more than the month after, November. $429,900, so $430,000, the $5,000 difference between October and November. So this is the first sign that our market is slowing down. It's actually not the first sign. The first sign would obviously be the months before that. Now, I'll actually show you this after this, but this is the trend that we're starting to see now. Things kind of jumped up a little bit in September to October, but we're seeing a general number now that will actually make more sense on why we say that we're not going to hit a bubble. Hopefully this will explain what we mean when you talk to a real estate agent and they're saying there's not going to be a bubble. Okay, everybody thinks that we're going to hit a crash, and that's just not going to happen. From the historical data that we've looked at, I just don't see that happening. Granted, it might. Nothing is absolute. Things can change, but I'm saying right now, my opinion is that we are not going to hit a crash. We might level out and lower a little bit, but we're not going to hit a crash. Okay, so November 425. Month before that, October 429. Okay, let's look at the month before that. This is where things get really interesting. So in September, our median home price was $414,000. We're going to see a trend in the next few months prior to this. $414,000. Now that's, $15,000 less than what we have right there. So we did have a pretty good jump from September to October, and then obviously we're leveling back out in November. But let's look at the month before September. Okay, August, 415. Let's look at the month before that. 415, July. 415, June. I think May is when we really change. So 400. So did you see that though? This is where things started to, still we're astronomically changing. The month before that, we were 85. But in June, we hit 415,000. This is when we were first starting to see this slowdown, which is interesting to me because I came into real estate in February. Okay, and we were hot in February. Things were going crazy. $415,000 is the median home price. $415,000 is the median home price in July, in August, and in September. Okay, what was that? 4 months? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 months. It was in the same place. It's been really confusing. I'm going to be 100% honest. As my first year in real estate, watching these numbers, and while everybody's still saying it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. Yeah, it's hot. The numbers aren't growing though. We're noticing the numbers, the median is staying approximately the same. Excuse me. Apparently, grammar is not my first language. The last 4 months, they've been staying the same. We haven't really seen this curve a whole lot. And so this just shows that just like the stock market, just like the U.S. currency, things change constantly. And even if something is super volatile and just jumping up, it will level out and jump and drop and jump and drop and level out and jump and drop. Okay, so watching these trends is important because it'll tell us, like, historically, what are we going to be looking at? Now, what happened between these months? That's actually a question for you guys. I actually have no idea what happened in these months that changed, that might have put America on a standstill. Excuse me, I'll say Nashville, not America. Nashville on a standstill. I don't know. I honestly have no idea what put it on a standstill for these 4 months, but I guarantee there was some historical event that happened in June that kind of slowed us down for a few months and made us kind of focus on some different things. Okay, but anyway, November 2021, 425. Let's look at last year. We looked at the few months before that. Let's actually look at what it looked like in November of 2021. So $350,000. Let's look at November of 21 again. 425. 425 in 2020, it was 350. That's a $75,000 jump. That is huge. I mean, over a year span, that is massive. Usually we don't see that kind of growth. And so I just want you guys to realize, when we say it's a hot market, $75,000 in equity, if you bought a home in 2020 or 2019 and you look at your equity that you have now in 2021, come on guys. I don't care if it's a rundown shag. Somebody's going to want it because it has equity in it, okay? It has equity. Not to mention that our inventory is super low. We need more homes to be sold because there are tons of buyers right now. The next generation is coming in and they're looking for homes, but we don't have the supply to fill in the demand. So that's what's creating this seller's market. Seller's market is now put the sellers in control of the market. They're being able to sell their homes for $75,000, $80,000 over what they're asking, which is jumping up the prices. We won't even talk about how Zillow kind of screwed themselves on that whole spiel. in this last year. We'll get to that sometime, another time. I don't like crapping on other people, man, but Zillow, I'm sorry, you guys did it wrong. You did people dirty. You did yourself dirty. But anyway, let's go back. 350,000. Let's look at the year before, just so we can compare it to what it looks like year to year. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go to the I'm gonna duplicate this last screen. I'm gonna go to 2018. I want to see what the jump is in 2018 as well. So 322.5. That is what the median home price was in 2019. Okay, let's look at 2020, 350, 322. So I mean, we're sitting about a $25,000 jump. That is approximately about normal. Let's actually, I'm going to duplicate this page, and then I'm going to go to monthly. There we go. Monthly data. I'm going to go to 2018. Let's look at this. Let's actually put this here so it's a little bit more organized. Down to November, 295. Well, I mean, that's about the same. We're sitting still about 25,000. As I thought, that is about the normal jump month or year to year. We're usually sitting around 25,000 right now. The percentage I honestly would need to calculate to figure that out. Well, let's do it. Calculator. All right, boom. Can you guys see that? Hopefully you can. All right, so let's look at our numbers here. So we got 295,000. Okay, let's go to this one. Divided by 322,500 equals. I did it backwards. I'm a dummy. If you guys didn't know, I'm like the dumbest real estate agent out there. I really have to study this stuff hard to understand it. Okay, so 290, was it 292? 295. 295,000. All right, so we only had a 9% jump that year. So 2018 to 2019, that was a 9% jump. Nine and a third percent jump. Well, let's look what 1920 was. Okay, so we got large number first, Alton. Come on. 350. Oh, what in the heck? No, positive. 350 divided by 322,500. 8%, 8.5%. So, you know, look, it's still looking about normal. Those numbers. Okay, let's see what 2000. I'm on a roll here. I've got here. I'm glad we're doing this together. I probably could have done this before you guys came on here, but again, probably the dumbest real estate agent you know. So we're gonna do this together so we understand it together. Okay, divided by 350. 21.4%. 21.4%. Last year's growth was 21.4 in all of the Middle Tennessee area. In these counties, let's scroll up here. Davidson, Cheatham, I don't even know how to say that. I'll say Cheatham. Cheatham sounds right. Dixon, Murray, Robertson, Rutherford, Sumner, Williamson, and Wilson County. We went up 21.4%. That is insane. Absolutely insane. All right, let's go ahead and take this down now. Delete. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Transition back to the screen. I'm also learning how this recording stuff works, so if I have to talk through it, it's because I have no idea what I'm doing. All right, let's get back down to this. So $450,000. Excuse me, 425. Where did I get 450? $425,000 median home price. Guys, I understand. It's not always. I hear this all the time. When do I know when I'm supposed to sell? How am I supposed to buy if every other home is just as expensive? If the price of their home has went up as well, I'm gonna have to pay more for less, right? I get that question all the time. I am not gonna sit here and lie to you and say that if you are not ready, do not want to buy another home, that you should. I'm really real with you. That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, there has to be a specific reason why you want to sell your homes. Us real estate agents, we try to get everybody to sell homes. I get it. That's because we want to find the people that actually have the why. Now, if you're not the person that has that why, we're going to see if there is a why that you actually have. Obviously, that's our job. That's what we do. In the end of the day, unfortunately, we are salespeople, and I hate to say that. I am in the business of building relationships. I'm not a salesperson. I will say that till the day I die. I am here to build relationships with people. I feel like if we are not building people up, we're killing them. It's about growth, not destruction. That's my motto, my mantra. Growth, not destruction. Let's help people, and hopefully our name will be cleared of that. I'm here to help people upgrade, downgrade, or finalize debt, whatever that means. So anyway, I'll get off that high horse. What does it mean when you want to sell your home? What is the right time? I'll ask, actually. So when people, let's give some examples. So some whys that people actually are selling a home. Now, if you are not part of these whys, there are a few others. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you all of them because I don't know all of them, but these are some reasons why people are selling their home right now, because right now is a seriously awesome time to sell. Okay, because if you are downgrading, you don't need the space that you have. Now is an awesome time to downgrade, because you're going to be coming out with a ton of equity and be able to pay into a home and lower your home price, and then you're going to be sitting at a beautiful property that you need, that you can actually utilize. Okay, that is one reason that you're able to sell. Or you want to upgrade. You can always upgrade. Say your family is growing. You went from 4 kids to 5 kids, and you need a larger home. Well, guess what? You need to upgrade, and you can use this equity upgrade. Yes, your home might be the same size, square footage. That is fine, but guess what? You still need that extra bedroom. Okay, that's why these people are selling. Now, if you are just sitting on a bunch of equity and you're in the home of your life and you don't want to move, why would you sell? I'm asking you that. Why would you sell? You wouldn't. You'd want to stay in that home, right? So if you're in your dream home and you've got a ton of equity, don't sell. Now, you do have options to refinance and cash in on that equity before interest rates start skyrocketing. We'll talk about the interest rate thing in a second. But if you have a ton of equity and you need to pay off some debt and you want to lower some of your bills, refinancing and cashing out some of the equity may be a solid choice for you. Say you have $40,000 in student debts that are really crushing in on your bills, or a car that you need to pay off, or the answers are all over the place. Refinance is just as good, but it's not always about just selling your property. There are options. If you guys have ever thought about refinancing, let me know. Look, I've got guys that'll talk you through it, tell you exactly if you need to or if you don't, if you're sitting in a good equity position or not. There are options. Let me know. I've got Alex on speed dial. I've got Nick on speed dial. I've got Brandon on speed dial. I've got Ari on speed dial. I've got a ton of loan officers that would love to help you guys and figure that out if it's right for you. Okay, but let's talk about interest rate. Why is now, if you're going to sell, the time to sell rather than in the future? So again, I'm a simplistic person, right? I need to see easy to look at visuals. So all I did was I Googled interest rate mortgage. Okay, I even said that weird. It should have been mortgage interest rates. I don't know why I said it like that, but I did. Anyway, I just scrolled down just looking for a good site that wasn't an ad, right? And the first thing that popped was this rates on average, or average rates for homes. Okay, so right here we have the regular conventional loan for a 30 fixed. We have a 30 fixed FHA, 15-year fixed, and a VA. I'm gonna actually fix this so the VA is with the FHA, or next to the FHA. Apply, and if you guys are awesome and you can do a 15-year fixed, or I think that's better for you, and there is the 15-year fixed. So we're gonna go over these numbers. I'm not gonna say 500. Let's go 200K because I like to look at, well, let's look at the median. Look at the 400,000 range. Not that it's really gonna change a whole lot, but let's just look at that. Down payment, we'll actually change this down payment, and I'll show you why in a minute, but we're gonna go with this for now. We're going to keep a credit score of 680 because a lot of loan companies are actually putting a limit. By the way, this is not the lowest credit you can use to buy a home. Every company has a different limit. Maybe someday we can have a loan officer actually come on and talk to us about this, so it'll make more sense and they'll be able to be a little bit more wise with what they're saying, because I may stumble over my words a lot here because this is some stuff that I'm a little worried to talk about. Again, I'm not a professional in this aspect, but anyway, we're gonna stick at 690 because that is just like what most people think as the bare minimum. Okay, so we see that right now, this graph will show you right now, this number right here at the fixed conventional loan, the interest rate is around 3.7. Okay, now this varies. Obviously, it depends on your credit, your debt to income ratio, all those things that the loan officer will go into. But this is just what we're looking at, kind of an, I think these are averages. Somewhere, yeah, average rates from December 16th. That is one day ago, yesterday. Here's average rates. So we're looking at about a 3.7 on the interest rate. Now, if we look at the VA and the FHA, we're seeing about 3.118 and 3.122. Those are pretty darn good rates. Let's look at how much they've grown in the last, this is only since probably October, probably September. This is probably September 15th or so. This is probably when this started. And I'm not going to insult your guys' intelligence. You guys can see this is growing, right? And this seems like, to me, now I haven't been looking at these charts forever. This is actually my first time looking at it, but I've heard things from loan officers that are terrifying me, right? And they are going off of their historical data. They're saying that our rates are going to jump up an astronomical amount in the next year, 2 years, because we're going to start seeing the level off of the market, right? Government's always going to get their money. These rates are usually put in place and changed by the government, by the federal government. So obviously they're going to be a little bit different between mortgage company, but every rate is changed federally. So there's like a limit for them. And don't quote me, I'm pretty bad at this stuff. But for essence, for generality, this is what we're looking at. So we've seen a what is this? 0.4, probably the 0.7 in the last 4 months. In the last 4 months, guys, let's say that in the last 4 months we've seen 0.4 of an increase. Dude, think about what that is over a year. Okay, think about what that's going to look like in another year. Rates are increasing, guys, and it terrifies me because when you go and buy a $300,000 home in the future at a 6% rate, your payments are going to be massive compared to if you lock in a rate right now at a lower rate. I'm just putting it out there. This is my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact. This is my personal opinion. Now is the time to refinance or sell if you've ever thought about it. Okay, let's say you can't put 20% down. Matter of fact, let's just roll into conventional as well. Most people think you have to put 20% down to have the conventional loan. That is not true. Let's watch what happens. I'm going to put this down payment down to 5%. If you noticed, these three didn't really change. Go back up to 20. Go it again. Okay. 0.511. 0.512. I know. I'm part of the millennial generation. Unless you're making big bucks, man, 15-year fixed rate, I never think it's a good idea. I think put it out in the long run because you're going to be able to sell it with equity in the future. I'm a 30-year fixed rate guy. You may have a different opinion. Gordon Ramsay might have a different opinion, but that is my opinion. If you can use that as a tool instead of, paying it off more now, I would do it. Unless you're planning on living in this home for the rest of your life, I would honestly probably just do a 30-year rate and just pay the lower amount and save up the rest of it for things coming into your life. But anyway, let's look at this 30-year fixed VA rate. This is interesting. Watch this. It went up 0.001%. 0.001%. Same with the FHA. Look at the FHA. I'm burping a lot. It didn't even change. 5%, 3%, same. Okay, these are generally pretty locked in rates. Okay, you're not going to get much difference depending on how much down payment you are. So you might as well save the cash. Put the cash in your bank account. Use it for your closing costs. Everybody always thought that you had to pay 20% down to use a conventional rate too, but that's not true. Some places even let you go as low as like 3%. Now, rates are obviously going to change for you at that percent, but let's look at it. It's really not that much different. So we got 3.5, 3.7, 0.5, 0.7. Okay, 3%, 3.6, 3.5. I don't know why, but 5 to 10% seems to be a sweet number. because at a lower rate it goes up obviously, but at 20% it goes up. I don't understand that quite yet. That's something I would have to ask a loan officer. But seriously, 5% on FHA or even a conventional, you can swing a conventional loan at 5% down. Let's look at credit scores. This is where people really get the good rates, right? So if we're at a 680 on conventional, this is where it's really going to make the difference. Okay, so you've got a 680, your rate's at 3.5, go to 780, 3.2%, right? But did you notice that these didn't really change that much? Let's go to 680 again. So 3.12, 3.04. So it's not really that much different. Okay, so if you're using a VA or an FHA, if you're within like a certain limit, you're not going to really have to worry about this. Now, if you get lower than that, things are going to change quite a bit, but they're going to start changing differently because 680 seems to be that like magic number, but they're really not changing that much. So let's just work on improving our credit to 680, and then after we work on our loan, let's work on getting it higher. It really doesn't matter. It'll only help you. It doesn't really hurt you that much. So now these are averages. Again, these are not facts. I want everybody to be very, very clear that I am not a loan officer, but these are just the averages that I found just Googling it, as powerful as Google is. But yeah, I want to ask you guys, looking at this chart right here, what do you think is going to happen in the next year? What do you think the rates are going to be at? Now, I've told you my opinion. I've told you what I've heard. I've heard up to 10%. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I thought maybe at the beginning of the year, I'll say in June or July, August, that's what I was thinking. That's actually what I heard, and I took it as fact. And now that I'm looking at the data, I'm not seeing that being the rise. I think there's going to be things in place that will ever stop it from being that high, but I do see it rising. Maybe I've heard 6%. I could see it being around 6% at the end of next year, which that's honestly a little terrifying, but I can see it. Maybe 5 being a normal rate, an average rate next year. So I just want to ask you guys, what do you guys think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? If you're a loan officer, correct me if I'm wrong, please. I need all of the feedback that I can get. Did you guys enjoy this? I'm actually going to end this video soon. Things I actually do want to say, thank you to all our vets. Not really Memorial Day or Veterans Day or anything like that, but I have a soft heart for anybody in the VA system. Thank you guys for serving our country and doing the right thing. Even if you served 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, you served all 20 years, you guys are heroes. Everybody that served for me and everybody that'll serve after me, thank you so much for everything you do for this country. God bless you guys. Bless America. Let's make this the greatest country in the world again. Let's focus on growth and not destruction, and let's change our mindsets. Love you guys. Have a good day.